We have never seen this before. These are two different stat lines from the same player. One is rookie year LeBron James, and the other is 38-year-old LeBron James. And you might be saying to yourself, well, that's his rookie season. Of course, his numbers will look lower. Let's put his numbers of his 20th season up against himself 10 years earlier. A year that many basketball critics say is the greatest season ever played by an NBA player. And yet, year 20, age 38 LeBron James still wins. This is not supposed to happen. The older you are, the worse you're supposed to get. That's what happened to Kobe, and that's what happened to Jordan, but not LeBron. Somehow this man is a month away from turning 39 years old and still seems to be getting better. How is that? Well, I think I might have just figured it out. LeBron James's longevity is something that is highly documented and highly reported on. And it's probably his biggest accomplishment when you talk about the GOAT debate between him and Michael Jordan. It's well reported that LeBron spends around $1.5 million on his body every single year. It's the main reason why we've been able to see LeBron maintain this great dominance for 21 years in the NBA. LeBron takes excellent care of his body through workouts, yoga, cryotherapy, hyperbaric chambers, and other things to keep his body ready at all times. In addition to his training regimen, he also has hired a world-class staff to help keep up with his ever-going game. He has professional trainers, professional masseuses, and even a former Navy SEAL on his training staff. One of those trainers happens to be Mike Macias, who is the LeBron of personal trainers. Before training LeBron James, he was an intern under another famous trainer named Tim Grover, who happened to be Michael Jordan's personal trainer. Macias took everything he learned under Grover and Michael Jordan and applied it to LeBron James. LeBron has even stated that there is no way that he would have completed 20 full seasons in the NBA without Macias by his side. Macias controls everything LeBron does off the court. That means his workouts, his training, his rest, and even his diet. LeBron eats about 5 times a day, and they are all highly calculated meals. Everything that he consumes is with a purpose. He eats a lot of meats, fish, fruits, and vegetables. His normal day includes a rich protein breakfast such as egg whites, omelets, yogurt, etc. While his main meals also focus on protein, he also adds a variety of vegetables and also tries to keep a healthy snack to kind of get him through day-to-day activities on the court. LeBron is extremely religious to his diet. He makes sure that he eats his meals every day and does not miss a beat, no matter what is happening. And it's common knowledge that a world-class athlete would have a world-class diet. But what I did find weird that LeBron, a world-class athlete, does do, he has a daily consumption of alcohol. Alongside his protein-rich dinners, LeBron always has a nice glass of red wine right next to him. It is well documented that LeBron is a wine enthusiast, and you can even see him sharing some of his favorite wines on his Instagram story. Rather, that is a 2013 Terra de Madavero, a 2004 Opus 1 Napa Valley Proprietary Red, or a 2009 Petit Canite. He loves to share his deep love and knowledge of his wines to its millions of followers. LeBron has also stated that this love of wine is a daily occurrence, that he drinks a glass of red wine every single day, no matter what. You can see him walking into an NBA basketball game to sit on the sideline with a glass of red wine. This man absolutely loves his red wine. And it's a common thing now in the NBA. A lot of players have a really deep love for wine, and the NBA even brought in wine during the bubble so that the players had something to drink. But I would say that on the top of that list, in the top tier of wine lovers, is LeBron James. Why is he so adamant on drinking a glass of red wine every night during his very nutritious dinners? LeBron is a firm believer that red wine actually is good for your heart, which is sort of true. Red wine does contain some rich antioxidants and supports a healthy cardiovascular system. Regardless, it's still odd to see a world-class athlete consuming this much alcohol on a daily basis and competing at the highest level in the entire world, especially a player as old as LeBron James. But LeBron has argued that he has played some of the best basketball of his entire career while drinking red wine daily, which just could be one of LeBron's notorious lies.
Before the game even started, when I seen, I said he was probably gonna score 70 tonight. I don't know what made me say that. And my friends was with me, and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, well, he might as well go for 80 now. So, I mean.
But he actually might be telling the truth here. He began drinking wine when he turned 30 years old. Since turning 30, he has won 2 NBA championships, went to 5 straight NBA finals, made one of the greatest plays we've ever seen in NBA history, and passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the all-time scoring list. And personally, from someone who's been a LeBron fan his entire life, LeBron James, after turning 30, is better to me than LeBron James in his 20s. Go argue with somebody else. I don't care what you think. LeBron was better on the Cavs than he was in Miami. Yeah, I said it. So, has wine made LeBron better with age? I actually believe so. You know that famous term that people like to say, you are what you eat? With LeBron James, I like to say, you are what you drink.
You just say I'm like fine wine, I get better with age, that's what it says.
You're right, LeBron. You are just like fine wine. You get better with age. If you know anything about wine, wine is meant to be aged, especially red wine. It's like the holy grail of wine, to make a wine that you can enjoy 20, 30, even 40 years later after the bottle is first made. Essentially, if you talk to any wine connoisseur, they'll tell you about a bottle they have that they've been aging for years, and they're gonna open it on this birthday or that or that. It's a common thing in the wine community. The process of wine aging is all about the different type of barrels. You have the oak, stainless, concrete, clay, and etc. Barrel aging is the step between fermentation and bottling, which matures the wine and gives it its distinct flavors. Essentially, every time you open up a bottle of wine, you are catching the wine in a different stage of its development with new and different nuances. While the proportion of tannin, acids, and sugars stay the same, the flavors over time begin to change in the wine bottle. And like his favorite drink, LeBron James's game has also changed into different and new flavors over time. When LeBron first entered the league in 2003, the game of basketball was completely different. In his rookie season, the Dallas Mavericks led the NBA in points per game at 105 points a game, followed by the Sacramento Kings, who were the only other team in the entire NBA to average more than 100 points in a season at 102 points. The league average for 3-pointers in a game attempted by a team was 14.9. LeBron averaged 20 points a year and also attempted 2 3-pointers a game. At that time, he was more of a slashing wing with a poor jump shot. And the style of basketball was also completely different. There was less spacing and a lot more paint dominance, and it allowed guys like Shaquille O'Neal to completely destroy in this era. Fast forward a decade later, and the league average was 101 points a game per team, and they were attempting around 21 3-pointers a game. The style of the game also began to change at the time, from having players with a lot of height in your lineup to more small ball, faster lineups. And it was at this time LeBron also began to adapt his game to the changing times, and we saw LeBron become less of a slashing wing to more of an all-around playmaking forward. Fast forward another decade to now, which is current day basketball, and the league average has skyrocketed to 114 points per game, with teams averaging up to 34 3-pointers a game, which is drastically different from the 14 3-pointers that LeBron James entered in 2003, which again made LeBron adapt his game to the changing times. And now we see him shooting way more 3-pointers than he did his rookie year, which last season he shot 7 3-pointers a game. As the league has become way more stretched out than ever before, we now see teams running a lot of 5-out offenses and having their 7'4" center shooting threes like he's Stephen Curry. Like, I don't know if you've seen Victor Wembanyama play, but he is 7'4" and he is shooting 4 3-pointers a game, and it's probably only going to go up while his career continues. LeBron's been virtually unstoppable attacking the rim his entire career, and yet he has still found the need to become a respectful jump shooter. He understands that his athleticism alone will not last him his entire NBA career. The older you get, the less likely you'll be able to dominate your opponents with sheer muscle and strength alone. But two things never go away with age: your jump shot and your playmaking abilities. When Ray Allen first got in the NBA, he was one of the most athletic guards in the entire league and was dunking on centers day in and day out. As time went on, his athleticism began to fade and he became more of a deadly jump shooter, which is why he was able to play 19 years inside the NBA and win multiple NBA championships as the style of the league has changed. Other stars to do the same thing are Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson. All of these guys were able to have long-lasting careers in the NBA because they were able to change their game from just being an athletic guard or athletic forward to more of an all-around jump shooting and playmaking type of player. This is key to older players in the NBA to still be viable to a team when their athleticism fades. But none of them have done it to the level of LeBron James, whose willingness to adapt his game to the ever-changing times and his commitment to his body has been the reason he's able to be dominant in year 21. Unlike every other player later in their career, LeBron has avoided serious injuries, allowing him to play the way he has wanted to play his entire career. Which is why LeBron was able to average 28.9 points last season and led the Los Angeles Lakers to the Western Conference Finals. Which is also why we're able to see him make plays like this in the fourth quarter in year 21. This is not a normal thing to see from a guy who's almost 40 years old, who has played 21 years in the NBA, who has over 50,000 regular season minutes, who has had 17 trips to the NBA playoffs and 10 trips to the NBA finals, and is still competing and dominating players half his age to do. We will never see a guy dominate the league for this long as LeBron James has. I am 24 years old. LeBron James has been in the league since I was 3 years old, and he came in and he was dominant. I have seen him be at the prime of his career through most of my childhood and most of my adult life. I am now 24 years old. I have been through elementary school, middle school, high school, and college, and I'm here sitting here a graduate of 3 years with a Lakers hat on because he won another NBA championship in 2020. What LeBron is doing is unprecedented. We have never seen this before. And all we really can do is sit back and appreciate that we've been able to see this type of sustained dominance for this long in the NBA. Because we might not ever see this again. The craziest thing to me about LeBron James' entire career is that you can have legit arguments about which LeBron James was better. Like, people will have arguments, was his first Cleveland years better than his Miami years, or was Miami years better than his second Cleveland years, or even his Laker years. I always look at the second Cleveland years. I feel like that's when he was still athletic. He wasn't Miami athletic, but he was still athletic, and his IQ was off the charts then, and his jump shot was better than it is now in LA and it was in Miami. I think that was, to me, his prime of his career. But if you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, please subscribe. We're on our journey right now trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Also, I started streaming every Monday and Thursday night after the games come off. I will be on Kick and Twitch at Geno's Hoops. I have all the links in the bios. If not, you can also catch me on live clip channel. I'll have all the clips over there. I'm over there raging about the Lakers, man, because we are already starting off rough right now. Make sure you go check that out. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Yeah, I'll see y'all later. All right, bye.